All right. Let's hit it.
1, 2, 3, go.
1, 2, 3, go.
Welcome to the
Action.
past. Oh. You're fired. Welcome to the Pastor's Lounge. I'm Sheri, your unapologetically Christian therapist. Here we talk about all things mental health and wellness from a biblical perspective. Ta-da! Guess who's here? It's Dennis. And for those who don't know, this is my incredible, wonderful, awesome, fantastic husband and the one who records all of these amazing videos and built our incredible website and did all of the things so that I could sit here and just be a therapist and enjoy all of it. And he does all the heavy lifting in the background, but he's not in the background today. He's in the foreground. He's here because we're going to talk about one of our favorite things as it comes to new relationships is premarital counseling, because it is so essential. It is so essential and is so important. And it's something that I wrote about a while ago, and it was video time. And I was like, I probably shouldn't present something on couples work and counseling without my partner, without my husband.
And by the way, we didn't do premarital counseling.
That's right. Oh, good job.
We did pre-engagement
Good
counseling.
job. That's right. Let's clarify.
Which is super rare, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think something that we want to make more popular.
I agree. Yeah. You can actually, you don't have to wait to be engaged. As a matter of fact, thank you for that huge clarification. In our case, we were not engaged. We were not engaged for several months until several months later. Because from where we sat, it really made sense to do the work before even bothering getting engaged. You wanted to make sure, do we even want to be married? Is that even a good idea? Let's do all that heavy lifting beforehand. So by the time we get to the engagement point, if we were going to, which we were willing to really determine, we could do that with peace of mind, knowing that we'd already dealt with the things that could wreck a baby marriage. We did all that work beforehand so we could just enjoy being engaged and enjoy these beautiful years of marriage, knowing that we'd done so much work in advance. So yes, do not wait to be engaged. Ideally, don't wait to be engaged. You've already purchased stuff and you're going to try to overlook things so you don't have to return stuff and undo reservations and stuff. Do the work beforehand. We cannot recommend it enough. So I have a list of top 21 questions. Let me preface this. If you are actively dating, if you're already engaged, if you're about to be engaged, even if you have a baby marriage, you know what? I don't care if you're 50 years in. This is really for people that are on the cusp of getting married or with a partner and you're starting to think about it, and you're a Christian as well, because these questions are really going to be geared towards people of faith, of course, because that's our area, specialty. But regardless of where you are, we encourage you to watch this with your significant other. Get your boyfriend, get your girlfriend, get your fiance, get your boo. Let's sit down, get your snacks, get your popcorn, get a notebook, maybe a box of tissues just in case. And let's go through this. We want this to be interactive. We want you guys to actually put this to work as it's happening and start asking these questions. I don't care if you have to pause this video after every single question and break it down. It takes you 6 weeks to watch it because you have to keep unpacking stuff as it comes up. Do the work. It's worth it. It's worth it. So this is not a replacement for pre-engagement or premarital counseling, by the way. Do not think I watched Sheri's video, with her husband, and good, we're ready. No, go sit with a professional and keep going. Do the whole thing. Don't use this as like, I did it already. This is a little taste, believe it or not, of the type of depth and the type of questions you should be unpacking before you get married, before you make that big commitment. So consider this your appetizer to give you a little bit of a temperature gauge on how your relationship is going, and then continue your process more professionally, okay? I don't want anybody saying I watched a video and I made my decision and you heard me say it. Do the actual counseling. This is just a little bit of a taste to give you an idea. How are you guys doing? And is marriage for you? Yep.
And by the way, if you like this kind of format, both of us sitting in front of the camera, as much as I don't feel comfortable doing this, if you want more of this, simply comment more in the comments.
There we go.
So that'll give us an idea if we should do some more videos like this.
Yeah. talk about marriage and marriage things and kid things and blended family things and blended culture things. And, we've got plenty to choose from in our story. So definitely let us know if by the time we get to the end of this, like, yeah, keep that going. We'll just make you get used to it is all.
Well, I guess I could do that.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Cool beans. Okay. Y'all ready? You're ready. For what it's worth, did you, I prepared this for you. Did you read any of these questions in advance?
Yeah, barely. I skimmed it.
We're already getting into stuff, aren't we? You skimmed it.
I skimmed it, yeah.
Great. All right. Well, we'll see how well you skimmed. All right. So what we're going to do is, obviously, I did not memorize all. There's 21 questions, y'all. 21 questions to get you thinking about, are you guys marriage ready? So I'm going to read one. He's going to read one and go back and forth. We will intersperse some of our own story in here to keep it lively and honest and transparent because we believe in putting it out there for people. We're real people. We live real lives, and we do not want to put anything, in pretense and seem fancy and perfect in front of you. Definitely not. So hopefully this helps. All right. So again, get your partner, press pause if they're not around, watch this with them, get a notebook, pray about this, and let's get into it. Okay. All right. So these questions are designed to get you thinking, are you with the right person? Right. Sorry, to get the juices flowing and really unpacking, like, is this a healthy situation for us to continue? All right. So I have like a pre-question before the questions start. And first and foremost, did you ask the Lord? Did you ask the Lord? Do not make permanent decisions as a believer without asking God. Lord, is this my husband? Is this my wife? Should I marry this person? Ask God. He will answer. And some of the ways he will answer is allowing you to see the things that are coming up in this list. But for sure, sit and ask the Lord. And then second, pre-question is, are they saved? If the person you are with does not love Jesus like you, end it. Period. The Bible talks about not being unequally yoked. They're not talking about don't be black and white. He's talking about being unequally yoked in your spirit and not dating someone or marrying someone who does not serve your God. So if you're with someone who does not share your faith and your faith matters to you, we're done here. I'm just being blunt. We're getting right to the point. Now, assuming those conditions have been met, you ask the Lord and you feel peace, and there have been no red flags at this point. Second, the person loves the Lord in a way that is demonstrative and you see it. Okay, they're not just saying it. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian. The fruit is everywhere. Okay, now we continue. All right. So I'm gonna have you read a question. Are you thinking? Did you have something to say about that?
Yeah, I think.
That was fast.
Speaking about this particular, since we're both here, we're kind of talking about our story.
Yes.
When we first started dating, I was not seeking Jesus like I am now.
Sure.
So I think you didn't cut things off immediately, but
no.
we took things very slow.
Yes.
And you saw that I was I had all the intentions to start to do things right.
Yeah. That is true.
So the seed was there.
Right. You weren't as on fire as you are now, but it was evident that that's the path you were on.
Yeah.
Like if I saw,
and it was reconciliation. It's not like
right.
I
That's true. You weren't right. That's
Jesus
right.
at all.
That's right. Just kind of more typical wandering PK. That's kind of circle back around. But the foundation was there, and the heart for God was still there. So we're not talking about someone who was just completely left field. But to your point, that is a good distinction, right? So again, ask the Lord. I did ask the Lord. The Lord told me in a dream that Dennis was my husband, and he was not this yet. And by this I mean awesome. If you were wondering where I was referring to, but he was not this man, spirit, soul, or body at that time. But I asked the Lord, and God said yes. But be patient with him as I groom and handle things. So that gave me peace for what I didn't yet see, but had the trust because of God speaking to me that it was there. So again, the first point still matters because I wouldn't have had the same comfort with even watching you grow into more of who you are now if I didn't know God told me it was there. Just trust him. Trust him, trust Dennis, and trust the Lord, which I don't regret, obviously, but that was a good point. We're only on we didn't even get to number 1. You guys I hope you're already taking notes. Okay, so now you don't have to read it verbatim, but all right, but you see. Okay, so number 1, the question is that. You read it?
You read it. I'm lost.
What? Okay. Spiritual life. I will say it. I'll read it and you comment. How about that? Is that easier? Let's do that. You're not going to read this. Okay. No. I'm going to read it.
I didn't read it the first time.
Know the strengths in your relationship, and it's okay when they go back and forth like this. It's fine. Cool. Spiritual. I'm the words person. I'm the reading and the talking person. It's fine. Spiritual life. Are you able to regularly pray and read the word together? Do you both have a consistent place of worship? It doesn't have to be the same place just yet if you're not married, but as long as you have a place of worship. But that is a conversation though. Like, where are we going to be worshiping together once we tie the knot, right? And is there a personal devotion towards the Lord independently of you? Because I have heard couples be like, well, he prays when he's with me, or he says grace when he's with me, or he reads the word when he's with me. Like, I'm always the one who have to initiate. Make sure that there is an independent or fruit of growth towards, right, independent our relationship with the Lord that is truly organic. And are you able to walk in spiritual unity together? And I really love the fact that we before we even started premarital counseling, pre-engagement counseling, we had devotion together once a week.
Yes.
We had a time to read the Bible, and there was a book that we were going through, 52. It was a year's worth, 52 dates, written by a Christian couple, and we did one a week, just on our own. As part of we do it, and then we'd go out and do something fun or something different afterwards. But we were intentional about that spiritual time, and I watched for and saw and was really serious about seeing the fruit of his own individual walk with God. So that's essential. Do you see the fruit of their independent relationship with God? That's not because of you, the other person.
Yeah, so I think the hard question that needs to be asked is if things don't work out, is this person gonna follow through with this relationship that's blossoming with Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
If I walk away, if things don't work out, are they still gonna be Christian, or are they just doing this because I'm making them?
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
And by the way, I also want to say those devotionals that we had when we were dating, they were awesome. I think they helped us to just stay on track. You know, it wasn't always about dating. Sometimes it was just about having time with Jesus together. Right. And seeing what that would be like. Mm-hmm. So
I can put the book that we reference in the what is it? The comment, the thing.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description.
There you go, description. We will add the book that we use because it was really good. We've since passed it on to other couples and it's kind of traveling around, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
But we'll add it in case anybody wants to take a look at that because it was really helpful. Mm-hmm. So know where you are spiritually and pay attention to that. And would they keep following Jesus if you guys weren't together? Is the pursuit still theirs? Right. That's awesome. All right, we'll just get right to it. I love this question because we have to. Are you with them or are they with you to meet a personal need? Is there any duress attached to your relationship? Mm-hmm. Are they with you because you're bringing them stability? They're about to be evicted and you've got the housing. You have better finances than they do. You're more stable than they do. Maybe this is a relationship where there are previous kids involved. It's well, this would be a really good, parent to my kids, and they, bring more financial stability to me, or I just don't want to be alone. Is there something transactional at all in this dynamic? And it's really important to know that this is a mutually beneficial and healthy situation and not one where either partner is kind of just capitalizing on something you have that they want or they need to kind of fill in some gaps of their own. We dealt with this in kind of the singleness videos, come whole and know your stuff, know where you stand. Because without that security, there's something transactional about it, and it's not healthy. If they're just there because there's a stress point, there's a duress, and it's kind of you're their ticket. You're my ticket out of poverty, my ticket out of what I don't want to be your ticket. Mm-hmm. So ask that, know that, or be clear about that.
You've said this in the past in other videos. You were doing just fine without me.
Yeah, sure was.
You were not seeking a relationship because you were lonely. You were not seeking a relationship because you felt like you were half of something and you weren't whole. No, that was not the case. I didn't come in and fix anything.
Nope.
All I did was bring
did you do?
Different colors.
Ooh.
I
love that.
To your artistic palette.
Well done.
Yes.
You brought some new hues.
Brought some new hues.
You brought some new hues that now I just don't want to live without.
So the question is...
I love it. Good job.
Is this person only with me because they're lonely? Are they only with me because they're hungry? And that could mean so many different things. Wow. Are they only with me because they're thirsty? Ooh. You guys know what that means.
I'm assuming we're not talking about water.
No.
Jeez.
Yeah. So these are some awkward questions that need to be asked.
They don't need to be awkward. They need to be asked.
Yeah.
This matters. That's a good point. Yeah. So and listen, and if the shoe fits where, like if this is you, like you're in it, and you're like, oh, I'm the one who's certain that person's fine. I'm thirsty. Stop. Right. Like meet that need with Jesus, so that this person does not replace your savior. You know, like you never want that to be, and the other person doesn't want that pressure either. To be your fixer and your doer and your gap filler. That nobody no matter how whatever they might give off a sense of like, oh, so great, I feel so needed. Like deep down, that's going to get depleting. That's going to get old real fast, right? So come whole to the picture, Great. Good job. This is good. Good for you. Number 3. All right. Listen, we don't waste time. Are they gainfully employed and able to navigate life independently, successfully? And I wrote some notes to myself here to be clear that I'm not shaming anyone who's on their way. I'm not saying if they're not the CEO, don't bother. That is not what I mean. Neither one of us was where we are now when we met. We were doing well. We were doing okay, but we were not like at the top of our game. We're still on the journey, right? So this is not about having some unrealistic expectation or some bratty expectation. Like, I need you to be a millionaire. Like, stop it. That's silly. What we are saying is, are they hard workers? Do you see them as someone with upward mobility and momentum and drive, and they're consistently looking to contribute to the partnership, not just take? Like they can stand on their own successfully, and while we're at it, they're financially responsible as well. That comes later, but I'll just throw it in here because it kind of is attached. Are they gainfully employed? Are they financially stable and financially wise? You know their spending habits. Are they in a good place in that whole vocational financial space? Let's kind of put those together because they go hand in hand in life. So what's their status there? What have you seen? Are you always having to be the fire starter behind them and kind of motivate them, and they just keep losing steam and end up on the couch and you're like, oh, come on, you can do it. That gets old, and that's unhealthy, and that's a problem. So what's their status there? And are you able to honestly talk about that? Okay. And this is not like a breadwinning competition either. Like, does he or she make more or less? Like, we're not talking about numbers as much as is there responsibility, and is it shared, and is it equal, and is it balanced in how all of that's going to be navigated together? And are you comfortable with that scenario as it's looking, and you see some really good motivation to keep being a high achiever with you?
100%. I think the financial component is very important, but I think it's the more important thing is not where they are, but where they see themselves. Like, do they have goals, and are they realistic? Because some people have goals.
That's a good point.
And think, oh yeah, in a couple of years I'm going to be a millionaire if I do this, and that, and it's just in their head it sounds like a reasonable thing, but in reality, in practice, it's not. So I think, this is a conversation that you guys need to have. You guys both need to be on the same page, moving towards the same thing,
right? Having
the same goals and having the same morals, doing things with integrity. Yeah. So
good point.
Yeah. Like you said, they don't have to be a millionaire. And it's very, if you have that expectation, you've now just... The dating pool is so small for that sort of person. Like, be realistic. It's not about
must be millionaire.
Yeah, it's not about that.
Nothing wrong with that, but don't make that the aim.
100%.
Money comes and goes, guys. Just make sure they're smart with it. But that is a good point. I like that. Goals. One thing that what has made us a really great team is that we're both very driven people. It wouldn't be enough for me to marry someone who maybe was just born into wealth but was lazy. You know what I mean? Like that's irrelevant. Cool. Yay, there's money in the account for a long time. I'm so glad. Do you have goals and are you motivated? Do you still have things you're striving towards? Like that's not the end all be all anyway, right? So someone who's was driven mattered to me, and that's really what I mean. I can't say that has to be everyone's focal point, but it matters because you don't want a lazy spouse. Lazy partner who's like, oh, I reached it. Now I'm just going to plateau the rest of my life. That there's nothing fun about that. Yeah. So that matters. I love this question. How's their physical health and their commitment to personal wellness? We could talk about this for hours. Yeah. This is not about, I'm writing my own notes to myself about this. This is not about them having a six pack and requiring that they're, perfect in that way. This is about their overall lifestyle of well-being and their commitment to taking care of yourself, because how a person takes care of themselves is a direct reflection of how they're going to take care of you. If you're with someone who could care less about their well-being, doesn't know the last time they've been to a doctor's appointment, ignores pain, eats garbage all day, never exercises, doesn't see the purpose of it, and has neglected their bodies, what does that say about how they're going to take care of you? When the Bible talks about treating your body like the temple of the Holy Spirit, when the Bible talks about loving your neighbor, as yourself, which we could extend to how we should be treating our spouses and each other, and which is an even higher relationship, in order. As you see them love themselves is a measure, the degree to which they're going to have the capacity to love and take care of you. So I was a stickler. We can just go right. I was a stickler for that. Like, you're comfortable with talking about it. Like Dennis has been on an incredible health journey, and so have I. Really adopting new habits and breaking generational curses of unhealthiness, and being really driven towards being whole. And it's not been about the aesthetic and the look and just busting out of the gym with all these bulging muscles, because at the end of the day, that means nothing when you have like screaming infants in the middle of the night. Like what's happening in the gym is, who cares about that? You want the guy who's going to get up at 3 a.m. and be like, lay down, I got it. You know what I mean? So, and not be like, no, I need my beauty rest because I need to work out in the morning. So go with what's of higher value, right? But at the end of the day, what I did care about and what I was not willing to compromise on was a commitment to a lifestyle of well-being, which meant we're going to eat clean as a couple, and we're going to exercise on a regular basis, and we're going to get good rest, and we're going to prioritize our doctor's appointments, and you're never going to miss a physical. And like this is how we're going to live. Are you okay with that? Because I need that. And I gave him room to decide, if that was because again, that's not how he grew up, but that's what I required. So you could speak to that, because that was more of you adopting more of my habits.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I started my sort of physical transformation a little bit before I met you.
Yes.
And the ball just started rolling, and I found cycling, which I really, really love.
Yes.
And it's not about the number on the scale.
No.
It's about so much more than that. And I mean, you said it, like we have toddlers, the fact that I am physically able to run with them for hours and hours, it's necessary.
Yes, so true.
If Sheri was the only person doing that, she would not be a happy camper.
We would not be here.
Yeah.
This video would not be happening.
Yeah.
No.
And I need to be able to wrestle with them.
Yes.
I have to have the strength to carry them while we're walking through the woods, and they don't want to walk anymore.
We have heavy girls. Just in case anyone's not met our daughters, they are solid rocks.
Yes.
They're healthy. Don't worry about that. These girls are healthy girls. But
and when we're hiking, they get tired and they want to be carried, and so we have to carry them through the woods.
Good God.
So it's not about the number on the scale,
no.
Although that is important too. It's more about just being able to support your spouse and, once again, being on the same page.
Yeah.
Physical attraction is also a variable.
Absolutely.
You have to
Let's talk about it.
You have to be physically attracted to your partner.
I'm so proud of you for saying that.
And if you're not, then there's a problem there.
Right.
Something needs to change.
Yes.
I'm sure there are tons of couples out there where they have changed physically and no longer see each other the way that they used to.
Right.
That's an important thing. And that's something that I think couples need to talk about. Like, hey, listen, you don't look like you used to. You've gained a couple of pounds. Do you, like, what can we do about that? It's an awkward conversation, but it needs to happen.
I think, okay, so I felt every like woman groan when you said that, but
I was actually thinking of it the other way around.
Good for you. Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
I'm a woman, so I heard it as a woman. But yes, if this is an expectation, it should go both ways. Obviously, what? Listen, I gained weight. I had 2 babies. You know, my weight is not what it was in high school or college or 5 years ago. But there's a difference between my body's maturing and changing and I'm, getting closer to menopause and not further away from it, things like that. Your body's going to do stuff. And yes, weight will be gained. Your dimensions shift. That's all true. Muscle is not as taut. Like, all right, fine. What we're talking about is there's my body's evolving, but I continue to work with what I've got to take good care of myself versus my body's evolving and I have just given myself over to complete apathy and I no longer care for myself. I've just let it all go. That doesn't need to happen. I think that doesn't need to happen. I think at any life stage, and this is coming from someone who's been a personal trainer for years and worked with women and men of all ages, and have seen them do incredible things in 60s, 70s, and beyond. So I'm saying from a place of experience that at no point do you have to just surrender and say, my body's just going to go to pieces because I'm older and because I've had kids no, it doesn't. I'm not saying you need to run a marathon. I've never done that, half as far as I've ever gone, but you can still take good care of yourself. You can still eat in a way that shows that you love your body and you'd like to last as long as you can for those you love. So I think it's okay. Listen, I'm so grateful for you being here and saying these things out loud because even he knows how much I love the gym. He knows how much I love working out in that way. He's a cycling guy. I am an in the gym, hit the weights girl. Like that's what works for me. He's found what works for him. And I'm intentional about complimenting what I like when I see it. Like, ooh, look at those quads. Ooh, I see. Look at these muscles coming into your back. I say it out loud because I'm also letting you know I like that. You know what I'm saying? And he'll make similar comments to me. So there are ways of directly and indirectly letting each other know you're looking good, or whatever you're doing, continue, or how can I help you? And that's the way I phrase it. And the Lord had to teach me that because I was really, I was not kind when we first got married about the way that I feel I approached, in my mind, encouraging you when I felt like you needed encouragement. It was really just me being bratty and judgmental, and the Lord was doing a work in me about it. But I learned to adopt a different language. We are accountable to with each other about our health and well-being. And so I would ask, like, is there anything I can do to help you be able to sustain some of the goals that you've set? Because I feel like, you've kind of hit a little bit of a challenge or a wall recently. Is there something I can help you do? Can I change up how I'm cooking? Can I buy some different stuff? Can I grab the girls a little bit sooner so you get more? Like, what do you need? And you would either say like nothing, or actually, yeah, could you help me with kind of changing up what I'm having for breakfast? I feel like I'm doing too much here or there. And it became a conversation and not a judgment. Would you agree that approach has been helpful?
It's been very helpful. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes the times that you've said, hey, do you want me to listen? It looks like, you need a trainer. Do you want me to train you? I was like, no, thank you.
Absolutely not.
No.
Jeez, I know you were gonna say. I can't. Whatever.
Well, it's the truth.
Say what? Yeah, yes, that's right.
Stand your workouts. I can't do the HIIT stuff.
I don't even. You're all right.
That was way back. I know you don't do that anymore. But I
don't have the energy for that anymore. But yes, you're right. He does not ever want to work out with me. Y'all like that ever. He's
I like to do my own thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've learned to release my control. It's fine.
But with the nutrition, for sure, you've been...
Yes. Okay. That's true.
Super, super helpful.
That's been better. Thanks.
I'm no longer having frozen dinners like my bachelor days.
Oh, your seltzer and popcorn that you would eat for breakfast before we got married.
Yeah, I was a mess.
Right. So we found a way to... But all of this to say, right? But he was willing. We were... Right? Like we were willing to have these conversations and... go into this level of detail, because at the end of the day, it wasn't, as he said, and it's true, And the Lord addresses with, it wasn't about a size. It wasn't a pride issue for me. Ultimately, the Lord was like, oh, you need to look like this to walk with me. Like, no, it was just, I need to know that I have someone who loves to stay healthy because I want to have a family with you and I'd like you to stick around for it and not have a heart attack at 50. So can you promise that you are always going to care about this just in general? And that was my contingency. So,
and by the way, I think it's important, like, to go back to that, like, awkward conversation thing. You can't say those things like, hey, I'm not really feeling the way you look if you're not taking care of yourself.
That's right.
Like, there's no hypocrisy here.
Nope.
You cannot tell your spouse that you don't like the way they look if you look a little different too.
That's right. Thank you for that. That's
right. So I think
right.
it's important, like, don't be a hypocrite.
That's right.
If you take care of yourself and you see that your partner's not taking care of themselves, then let them know that you're concerned.
Right.
You know?
And ask how you can help. Ask how you can support them, right? Make it about them and not about you, right? Because clearly the goal is for them to feel loved and cared for and nurtured and desired. Like, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you matter and I want you on the planet as long as possible. How can I make sure? What can I do to help you make sure that happens, right? The motive behind the question, the motive behind this is what needs to be pure, right? Because it's about staying healthy so you can do this life together as long as possible. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Cool. That was great. Well done. What is their sexual history, past or present? And have there been any issues with any sexual traumas? The P word has been a previous video, because these things will impact your relationship. And are you guys aligned in your dating, right? And in your pre-engagement, all of that, and your sexual purity boundaries before marriage? So that's loaded, right? But generally, have you guys talked about sex and intimacy before you guys are together and now that you're together and once you're married? Are all your bases covered in those departments? Because although I do not believe that the sexual part of marriage is the only thing that matters, and I deal with a lot of clients and couples where I have to just kind of dismantle some of that, like the hierarchy that it gets put on, the pedestal it gets put on. It matters. It's important. Yes, intimacy, and it comes from the Lord, and it's all good. Yes. We're huge fans. But what we're talking about is making sure that you are aligned in your values around it, that you have addressed any unhealed areas as it relates to it. So if you have been traumatized in any way in that department, have you done the work of going to therapy? Has that been addressed? Because your partner needs to know so they don't trigger you and step on landmines they didn't know were there. So have you guys been completely transparent about your histories, any current struggles, and your intentions as far as maintaining your purity and what expectations you have in that department once you're married? Because that needs to be clear too, so that you already know going into it, okay, well, this person's already, my partner's already told me that he or she is desiring or expecting, anticipating X, Y, or Z in frequency and format. And I was clear that this is what so this stuff breaks people up more than you think. So talk about it a lot. Don't leave any of that out, because it absolutely matters that you're on the same page in the intimacy conversation. Thoughts? And
I think as far as expectations go, I think, speaking to the men who are watching today.
Yes, please speak to them.
You need to, I think, understand. Both people need to understand. You're going to be on different frequencies.
Yes.
You're not gonna both want things at the same times or at the same frequency. So
that's fair. Yes, it's true.
Everything, like, honestly, it feels like everything just boils down to communication.
Yes,
talk about each other.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with having a schedule.
No, good for, man, you're saying something I didn't think you were going to say. Good for you. I'm comfortable talking. Go for it. Please, carry on.
The reality is, and I'm speaking, I think, very generally, men tend to want certain things more
often
than women.
Yes.
And that's okay.
And sometimes that reverses at different ages and time frames. But yes, in general, I think we're built differently.
You're not always going to sync up. And that's okay.
No.
A part of it is there has to be a sacrifice on both sides.
That is true. That is true.
When we first started dating, and I'm not even talking about sex at this point, I'm talking about just the speed at which one person is going versus the other. One person may need to speed up and one person may need to slow down and meet in the middle. And I think a lot of marriage is just that, just meeting in the middle.
Right.
Like, hey, I can't give you everything you need, but I can do this.
Right.
This is what I'm good at.
Right.
You know, and I'll work on the other thing.
That's fair.
So, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that was real transparent, honest. Good for you. We're just laying it all out there, folks.
Yes.
Look, but maybe this is definitely going to probably be its own video at some point. If you guys want more of this specific conversation, we can go like root deep about it because we care, especially Christian couples where we don't talk a lot about these things with this level of detail. We're all just told no, wait till you're married, and then nobody says anything else after that, which is so annoying. We want to talk about all of it. So if this needs to be, that probably needs to be unpacked so much more, and we will in other videos if that'd be helpful. But things to keep on. One, we talked about this in other videos in the singleness one. Boundaries while you're dating. You have to protect your purity. If your goal is to get to your wedding day having not seen each other naked, please do everything you can to ensure that happens. But then once you're there, be very open and transparent about what your needs are. And it's okay. Listen, I go as far as asking, like, okay, like, how we doing? How we doing? Because I could last a while. You know, he holds my hand. I'm like, oh, whoa, whoop, tank is full. I'm good, right? It's not the same for him, right? So I'm intentional about asking, how are we doing? Where's your tank? How low is it? You know, let me know. And we talk about it. And it's not about, like you said, there is sacrifice involved, but because part one, I love this man. I love him so much. And so it is my goal, it is my desire to honor and bless him. And sometimes, it comes to a point where I'm like, I don't feel like it. I'm tired. And I will go and stand in the bathroom like, Jesus, thank you for grace and energy because I love my husband and we're due. I'm good, but we're due. All right. And God will respond because he cares. He cares that I care because he cares about our marriage. So those are not silly, stupid prayers. They're really not. But prior to all of that, we talked about where each other was and what experiences we'd had or not had prior to getting married. So I knew what I was walking into and he knew what he was walking into. And that helped a ton. That made that sacred time safe for both of us. So don't be afraid to talk about these things openly. As a matter of fact, be very intentional about it because it does matter. And continue to talk about it. Don't let it get awkward because it doesn't have to be. This is your person that God gave you. Point number one. So there's nothing that you can't talk about. And if it does feel like you can't talk about it, flag that because that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would agree. And before we move on, I just want to talk about the importance of abstinence. The fact that we were both on the same page about that.
Right.
And to be perfectly honest with you, abstinence is also preparation for marriage.
Yes, good job.
Because you need to be okay with abstinence. Because there will be periods of time in a marriage where you have to be abstinent.
Yeah, like after you've just
like
pushed out two babies.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. No. That hurts. Right.
No.
But I just love you. That is so good. That was really important to say.
I think, you know why? Because
good for you.
I think people think of abstinence like people think, oh, well, there's another thing God doesn't want me to do. Like, no, God is preparing you.
Yes.
God is preparing you and preserving you. Like he is saving you from future issues by teaching you to be okay with not having something.
Yeah.
It is delayed gratification for a reason.
Yes.
God is not some like tyrant, like don't do that. No, he's saying don't do that because you're going to get burned.
Right.
So when we talk about abstinence was, I had to, when we first started dating, I had to understand. I was totally fine with abstinence. I didn't have an issue with it, but I didn't see the importance of it. And I feel like I get it now. I understand the importance of it.
That's good.
You know? And by the way, life is crazy. You never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
If you're not able, if for whatever reason you're just not able to have intimacy anymore with your partner, will you still love them? Will you still be with them?
Yeah.
Because that can't be everything.
Good for you.
It can't.
No.
And if it's no longer a thing, are you going to keep your vows?
Right. Right.
This
is a reality for some people. Your spouse could be sick. Your spouse could have something happen where that's just off the table for a while or indefinitely. Like, what does that do to your love and your glue? If that was all your glue was made of, then your marriage is going to shatter, and that didn't need to be the case. So that is such an incredible, incredible point, and so true. So true. Well done. Oh, what the heck? Good for you. Ooh, I'm so excited. Secrets and issues. Are there any addictions, mental health issues in their lives currently, or issues past or current, any legal issues, exes, any drama, any unresolved issues in their family, anything active that is going on that has not been addressed, right? So get out all of the skeletons in the closet. Like, this is not the time to be like, well, she didn't have to know about that, or he didn't, that was so long ago. He doesn't have to. If it's a thing, if it's not dead, it's alive, right? Like, if you bury something alive, it's coming back, right? I've talked to clients about this all the time. It was so long ago, and I just buried it. Was it dead though? Because if it wasn't, it will return, right? So make sure that anything that you have unresolved, hanging out, lingering in the background, past issues, past habits, addictions, legal stuff, whatever, everything is out in the open, and that your partner has the privilege, and you give them the respect of knowing these things so that they know what they're signing up for. So if they know that you've got an ex that was really unwell, or perhaps there's kids involved, whatever it is, they need all of that information. It's, oh yeah, we're fine. We don't even talking about it if that's not true. Right? Or if there's a lot of mental illness running throughout your family, or a lot of addiction that's common in your family, or you struggled with in the past, and they're like, well, I got saved. It's under the blood. It's gone now. Talk about it. I used to deal with this, and here are the ways that I've set up safeguards, but it's important that you know this is a part of my history so that you can keep me accountable to continue to walking in sobriety or in whatever, and, using the skills and coping skills that I have. You have to be transparent about your stuff, because the person that is for you will not be intimidated by your baggage. All of us came with something, some more than others, some less than others, but I brought to the table, without realizing the degree to which I brought it, but some insecurities I had about my dad not being around. I shared a video about that, right? When I was like, I want separate accounts, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ooh, where is that coming from? And God was like, because you think men just leave? Because you really need to dig deep and let that go and trust who I sent. I had to tell him about that and look that in the face. I had thoughts about when we had our daughters, and I had some insecurities around that, because they're just my family history has some not so pretty stuff in it, with men and women. And so I had some residual feelings about that I didn't even know were there until I realized I was having daughters. And I had to lay next to him and be like, this is why I'm afraid to have a girl. And here are the things that go through my mind. I had to unearth these things. So this stuff matters. Don't hide it. And poor you, because you married a therapist, means that whether or not you realize it, I was pretty much doing a mental status exam and an intake on you while we were dating. Anyway, let me ask about this, let me ask about this, let me ask about that. So I knew what to ask, but it still wasn't even exhaustive. There are things that the Lord just had to bring to surface, or you just chose to share on your own. But don't hide anything. If there's unforgiveness, if there's bitterness, if there's someone that's in your family that's hurt you and you have to talk about that stuff, because it will show itself. Your unresolved issues will come for you in your marriage. So make sure you get to it before it gets to you, and share it with your partner so they know what they're taking on with you, or you give them a choice to express it, whether or not they have the capacity to, because they might not. to be fair.
Yeah. Be honest. Tell the truth, because those secrets will come out eventually if you don't.
Right.
You know, I'm certain that a lot of marriages could have been saved if they would have just been honest up front, you know?
Sure.
And you know, you might forget some things and things will show up. Just be honest. Have a conversation. It seems like everything boils down to communication. And it really does. Like, just talk to your partner. That's it.
That's it.
We had very, very good we had very, very good counselors when it came to our pre-engagement counseling. So they asked a lot of questions, and that's the way it should be.
All right. That's right. Have to. I think that's it. And I think, well, I mean, I'm looking ahead because I feel like we're bringing up some of the questions that are here in that, just quite frankly, because I know it's here. Like if I skip all the way down, there's a question: do you find yourself tiptoeing around certain topics, or constantly shifting to appease the partner to avoid conflict? Are there poor behaviors that you're just excusing and kind of just be like, it's kind of shrugging off because you don't want to lose them, or you don't want to spook them, or whatever it is, and that kind of ties to what we're talking about right now. As we're bringing these things up, if there's any part of you that's like, I can't ask them that. Ooh, I don't think that's going to be a problem if I delve into that, or they're not going to want to talk to me about that. That's a red flag. This is a person that you are giving your heart, your body, your soul, your finances, your future. You're handing your future to this person and saying, I'm going to walk with you for the rest of my life, till death do us part. Then there can't be anything that you cannot discuss lovingly, calmly, and honestly. And if there's anything that we've said so far that has given you complete pause, don't proceed. Get in pre-engagement counseling, or if it leads to a whole impasse and you realize that this is not the person for you, then amen. Quite frankly, I'm not the type of clinician that's like, I want every single one of the couples that I counsel or premarital counseling that I do to end in marriage. No, I'm just as pleased if it ends in shaking hands and y'all go in opposite directions, because that's a divorce avoided. That's a situation where kids will not be born into a family that ultimately falls apart. We didn't even get there. No kids even came into the picture in that scenario. Amen. All right. So as we're looking at these topics, if there's even anything we've hit on so far, but in general, if there's anything you're avoiding bringing up and you find yourself kind of dodging stuff or just saying whatever makes them feel better and avoids the conflict, that is a problem. That is not normal. Don't proceed. There's something wrong there. If you can't just openly discuss things and it be received respectfully and your motives are trusted, that you're not coming to hurt them, but you're coming to just find transparency and common ground. If they're always defensive and deflecting and dodging and not, that's a red flag, period. Communication is key. And if you can't even communicate, put it on ice.
Agreed.
You're being short and sweet on that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said all the things.
I did. Okay, that's fair. All right. So that actually kind of hit on a few things right here, but I do want to talk about this. I don't even know how much time we have, but this is just really good. But I want to talk about this because it really does matter, because look at us. Are there any differences in your culture, your race, language, values, political leanings, gender role expectations, which typically ties into culture, right? Is there any of that that you guys have differences in, and have you taken the time to unpack it, talk about it, ask questions? Expectations in certain cultures, it is an expectation that the parents come and live with you guys at some point, or once they get older, or that you take care of them and you kind of take over all of their care, or there's an expectation, we're gonna, we hit a certain age, we're gonna move to Florida. That's where my family is. Like, you're good with that, right? What? I never set up, right? Have you talked about all of these types of things openly, and differences, especially even in language, which is a factor in our particular relationship? You've got all the things, different race, different culture, and there's more than one language in our family. So we have to still actively, right, navigate that, and we had to have conversations about that prior. He's pure on Latino, 100%, and so I'm like, look here, I will not be the cookie cleaning wife. Like, that's just not my personality. I do cook. I do clean because I want to, not because I have to. And anytime I don't want to, I don't. And I needed to make sure that was clear. And that wasn't going to be like, you're what? Like, I expect this to be able to buy. Like, I was very upfront. Now, praise God, he is not that man. He was never that man. So that speech wasn't even necessary. That wasn't discussed because I felt like I had to like get to it before. No, I just wanted to be proactive, even though there was no indication that that's what I was going to be experiencing. Praise the Lord. But that wasn't going to be me. But I knew that culturally, that was very common. So I'm like, I'm not that, right? I don't have that nature. So are we good here, right? So talk about all of that, general expectations. Are you aligning your values? How we vote? How we operate about certain things, and the differences in our race and background, and what expectations we were bringing to the table because of that. Because a lot of how we behave is informed by our backgrounds and our families. So have those conversations and, spend time with their families and observe how they are. Do they still honor you and respect you when they're with their loved ones? I have to give you the biggest compliment for that, because for us coming from very different backgrounds, just in all those ways, I have always felt honored. I don't walk into any of his family gatherings and feel like I just kind of disappear into the background and everybody else is like, he just kind of switches and like it's all about his family and I'm just kind of like that girl over there. Never. I feel central with and to you in all of the settings that we're in. And I didn't realize what a big deal that was until I started interacting with other couples and working with couples that were like, oh, I'm just like, when he's around his family, they're all speaking their own language and I'm just over there and I don't even know what they're talking about. I'm like, what? I'm not bonus. His family's Spanish speaking. I speak Spanish, so that wasn't ever going to be an issue. So I'm like, y'all not going to talk about me. I know what you're saying, but praise the Lord, that was never an issue. Yeah. But I feel like even if I didn't speak Spanish because who you are, I would never be left out. You were very intentional about including me always. So that's the thing. And that does matter.
Yeah, that definitely matters. I mean, obviously our situation is very unique.
Sure.
But again, just communicate. Like,
yeah.
I can't imagine having not talked about the long-term stuff,
Sure.
And
yeah,
going back to culture, like you brought up the one point of like, oh yeah, all my family's in Florida and eventually I'm going to move over there. Like your partner should probably know about that before you get married. Because if they never want to leave whatever state you're in, then that's going to be a problem. You guys need to be on the same page.
Right.
That's what it boils down to. Are you on the same page? Are your goals, long-term and short-term goals, aligned? Are you walking on the same path, moving in the same direction? Yeah. Like that's basically what it is.
Yeah, you're right. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Talk about it, y'all. I'll throw in a light one since it's been pretty heavy things, but what are their free time hobbies and are you comfortable with how much time they spend in their hobbies? Like they should have. So there's two parts. That one, they should have hobbies and healthy outlets for their time. It shouldn't be they're just wrapped around you and their life has no other purpose. Like they should have things that they like to do that doesn't always have to include you. But then I have also counsel couples and talk to different people who they have spouses that are, playing video games 16 hours a day and like not leaving and just, or they're only out with the guys all the time and they're off on their different clubs and whatever. And they never come home and they're just, they kind of come over to like the bookends of the day, but they're always out and they don't make time. There's not a good balance of that. So how do they use their free time? Is your family time still prioritized, but do they have outlets, but are they balanced? So, are they so wrapped up in it that the family becomes an afterthought, right? So just how is the balance striked in their use of their free time? And is it healthy and are you comfortable with it?
That is a huge one, I think.
I thought it was a light one.
No, I think this is a huge one.
Never mind.
And I was just talking to my brother about this the other day. I love video games. I've always loved I love video games. That's the right.
Did I kill that because I've actually
no, you didn't kill that.
Seen you.
I killed that.
Good for you.
Because I had to. Priorities changed.
I've never seen you play video games.
We got married.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, rather than play an hour of video games, I just decided I want to spend that time with you, and that's what we did.
Oh,
we
so
watched
Bake Show replaced video games?
Bake Show kind of replaced video games, right?
Oh,
And I was like, okay,
you.
eventually I'll get the video games back. And then we had babies.
back to back.
We had
Yes,
children.
you did.
And while we had these children, we decided to start a business
Yeah, here we are.
and a YouTube channel. So all of my free time is
It's gone.
gone.
Yeah, it's true.
But I'm having fun. Like, do I miss the video games? Yes. Yes,
Oh,
they were
I'm
fun.
sorry.
But I'm having
I'm sorry,
fun
not
doing
sorry.
this.
Good for
And
you.
by the way, I think another thing that you didn't really touch on there is, what does the other person do, not as a hobby, what do they do when they don't have anything to do? Because I know I feel like I do this sometimes, not all the time, because I try not to, but when I have nothing to do, sometimes I just sit and do nothing. Sometimes I just go into my brain, right?
Yeah,
but
that's the thing.
I think a lot of people don't know how to do nothing. Because the second they get bored, they're waiting in line for something, they do this.
Right.
Like,
We've
that's
discussed
also
that.
a problem.
Right.
I've seen, we've gone on dates,
Yep.
and we've looked at other couples, and they're both doing this.
So sad. Makes me so sad.
Why?
Like families with their kids on their phone. Like there's like device.
So your hobby is important,
Yes.
but also what you do when you're not doing anything is important.
yeah.
Is your hobby doing this? Is your
Only.
hobby social media? If so, that might be a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. Have more purpose. Live more robustly. There's nothing wrong with doing nothing, guys. Like you don't have the capacity. I mean, now we don't know what that's like very often anymore. Someday
Yeah.
we look forward to doing nothing, but but in
yes.
general, but truly, can you just sit? Like there have been times it's rare. We'll just like sit quietly. I mean, we can't.
The few times that we've
very long.
the few times that we've done nothing together, I've really enjoyed it.
Oh.
Yes.
Like the 5 times.
Yes.
But yes, that's true. Because you don't always have to be busy and in action. Like we need time to be still, right? And so can the person be in stillness as well? Okay, do they have to be like nervously always scrolling into like why? What is that? Like that is that a tick? Like why is that a thing? So yes, look at all of that. Those are really good for you. That was a really good addition right there. Well done. I'm so proud. I'm so shocked. Well done. Let's talk about. Okay, this is important.
We kind of got to wrap this up.
We are done. Let's end on this. Let's end on this one because this matters.
This video is so much longer than I thought it was going to be.
Well, was it worth it? Let us know if it was worth it. I feel like it has to be. But
Just
but
leave
still,
a comment.
Let's not assume.
Please let us know.
This could have been in 15 minutes, Sheri. Let us know if this is helpful because we could do more of this or less of it if you're like one and done. Thanks, guys.
One and
Let
done.
us know.
I'd be fine with that.
We'll discuss when this camera's off. Okay, so last one, and I feel like we have to include this here. What's the plan for children?
Yes.
Okay. See. Okay, we'll close on that.
That is important.
One, do they want children? Does your person want children? If children are not already in the picture, and if so, how many? That matters. Full stop. Like, don't disagree there, right? Don't come into it and assume that your partner is like, oh, I want 5 too, and then you wait all the way to get married and you find out I wanted like 1 at the most, so and then boom, we have an issue, or there's an expectation of many and the person's like, I don't want any. How could that possibly be something you didn't talk about? So what is the expectation?
And by the way,
What?
You have to take into account that people change.
Oh, true. Yes,
So
of course.
you have to ask yourselves these questions often.
That's true.
Do you still not want children, or do you want children? Because you might find that your partner changes their mind.
There could be reasons why they said none because of unresolved issues or traumas or bad memories. And it's like, well...
Or my sister just had a baby and it's so cute and I kind of want one now.
It's so funny.
Like I feel like...
That would have never been my reason. But yes,
people
that's
change.
That's true. Absolutely.
Keep that in mind.
Yes. So it's not, but
most definitely
keep talking about it.
Talk about it.
Yes. There it is again. Communication. Yeah. Don't skimp around that. And then in that, say you have come to an agreement on yes, we both want them, and yes, we both want 3. Great. How are they going to be raised? Does it matter who? Is there an expectation of there's going to be a stay-at-home parent? Both of you kind of working and then bringing somebody else into the picture. Like these things start fights and disagreements. You have to have already, because it could be a presumption. Oh, I just assumed you were going to stay home. Excuse me. I have a full-blown career. I had no intention of staying home. Why would you say that? Now I'm already 6 months pregnant. What am I supposed to do with this thing? You know what I mean? So you want to talk about every aspect of that early. What's discipline look like? How do you want them raised? How do you want faith incorporated? How do you want to include your families and the in-laws in your lives? And how much involvement would you like your families to have? This stuff can either make or break your connection, because kids change everything. So make sure you're in sync about what that looks like, if that's part of the picture for you and your relationship.
Yeah. Just to give you guys an idea, we were kind of okay with
closing the phone. We're not. Go ahead.
Whatever God had for us.
Yes, that is true.
When we first started dating, I think, our first conversation, we were like, we don't necessarily need or want kids, but if God gives them to us, then we will love them and cherish them.
Right. It's true.
And we got married and we told everyone, hey, we're going to take it easy. We're definitely we're not going to have kids anytime soon. And then 1 year later, almost exactly 1 year later,
our little 6 days before our first anniversary,
our first baby was born. And then a year after that,
baby number 2.
Baby number 2.
So
and now we're done. So done.
So done. Yeah. But yeah, shop's closed. But yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
And we said 2 was it for both of us. Like neither one of us wanted more than 2. Like there's so much agreement, and it mattered. And it has made that chapter, this new, part of our lives. It's hard. Obviously, it's a lot of work, but it's easier in that it's easy because we are in sync. It's hard because toddlers are just tough, and they're a lot. But there's not a time when we're not on the same page, or we can't talk to each other about even a little. We just talked recently, like, okay, I feel like we were a little too harsh with one of them, this time, or maybe we can take this approach, or I'm thinking we can try this with this one, because you notice I'm seeing some behavior issues here. Maybe we should, and we go back and forth and we talk about it and we set a game plan and we execute.
Guys, we're constantly talking.
Gosh.
All the time.
Yeah. Except when I'm on this side and you're over there, then we don't talk at all. You just listen.
No.
But yes, but this is really how we are.
All the time.
Yes, that is very true. So that is key. All right. I can only hope, because we have been at this for 40 minutes. This has been helpful.
It's been more than 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I feel like.
Well, good job.
Wrong.
If you've been watching this whole thing, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much. But use it. Use this. Share it. Use it as a template to start to ask some big questions, so that you can better fortify your relationship. Make this. When I tell you guys, marriage to the right person at the right time is one of God's sweetest gifts. I can't emphasize that enough. As someone who was a proud, happy single, flourishing single, who still to this day, happily married, advocates for quality single people and single life, and not see that as a means to an end, or something to just hurry up and get over. Enjoy every chapter as God has it for you. Enjoy wherever God has you. But if marriage is part of his plan and you meet and find your person, amen. Congratulations. It's so great. It's hard work, but it's beautiful work, especially when you're aligned in purpose. I didn't ask for the guy who could run the camera, build a website, and hold the business down so I could just do this for a living. And God gave me all of that when he said, don't worry about what you don't see. I know it's there.
We had no idea. We had no idea that this was the route that we were going to take. That we were going to start a business.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It blows my mind.
I would laugh if somebody said this to me 4 years ago. But you're crazy.
God knew what he was doing.
Yes, he did. Do it his way.
Yeah.
Wait for his person. Ask these questions and don't be afraid of the answer. Don't be afraid to lose the person over their response, because if they can't get through 20 questions, honestly, and you guys don't walk out holding hands, they're just not it. And that's okay, because God's got other folks. So take the time to be sure, get counseled, ask questions, ask the deep, hard, personal questions, and have that transparency. It makes such a big difference. You won't regret it. All right. So I hope this has been a blessing. Lord have mercy. Please like, subscribe, and share away and use this. And until next time, I pray that you prosper, that you as couples, you prosper in Jesus' name, and you are in great health, spirit, soul, and body, even especially as your soul prospers. Good night.
Good night.
Cool.
We out.